Welcome to Dreams at Night. Once upon a time, in a quiet and lonely house, lived a young and exceptionally beautiful girl named Hyun. The house was large, yet inside it felt empty and cold. Shadows lingered in every room as if old memories were hidden within them. Hyun's childhood had always been sad. When she was only 5 years old, her mother passed away. At that time, Hyun didn't understand what death meant. She only felt a strange emptiness in the house and in her life without her mother. Her father grieved for a short while, then remarried. For Hyun, this new lady was a stranger, filled only with the rules of the house and strictness. In the beginning, Hyun tried to build a good relationship with her stepmother, but she always remained distant, and in her eyes, there was no love, only hatred and selfishness. Hyun thought that maybe things would get better with time, but life once again tested her with hardships. When Hyun turned 18, her father suddenly passed away as well. This was the loneliest and most painful time for her. She was now completely at the mercy of her stepmother. But Hyun knew that there was no trace of love in her stepmother's heart. Instead, it was filled with cruelty, jealousy, and greed. Every day brought new challenges for Hyun, and the sorrow and hidden pain began to show on her face. During his life, Hyun's father had worked very hard and left behind enough wealth that, if everything had gone well, Hyun and her mother could have lived a comfortable and peaceful life. But now, that wealth was no longer solely for Hyun. Her stepmother seized all the property and took full control. For Hyun, what should have been a new beginning turned into a fresh wave of suffering. The stepmother started creating daily hardships and burdens for Hyun, always considering her hard work insufficient or worthless. Every morning, Hyun left her room, and every corner of the house became a new challenge for her. Sunshine would enter through the windows, but there was no smile on her face. Each day, Hyun completed her small responsibilities, whether it was cleaning, washing clothes, or working in the kitchen. She did every task with full effort and honesty, but her stepmother was never satisfied. Every new task became a test for her, and her heart grew weary, but her spirit never diminished. The stepmother often went out to the market or spent time with her friends, leaving all the household work to Hyun. Sometimes, Hyun's hands would hurt from exhaustion, and even at night, lying in bed, her mind would keep thinking about the day's tasks. Her dreams no longer provided comfort because even in her sleep, she could not escape her burdens and difficulties. Each day began with a new trial for Hyun. One day, the stepmother deliberately mixed small stones among 30 kilograms of rice and called Hyun over, speaking in a harsh tone. "These are 30 kilograms of rice. You must pick out every single stone from it, and if this work is not completed by evening, punishment is certain." Hyun sat silently, tears filling her eyes. She knew this task could not possibly be completed in one day. Her heart ached, and she covered her face with her hands. In her heart, Hyun prayed, "O Lord of the world, is there anyone who will have mercy on me? This burden is beyond my strength. Please help me." At that moment, a soft, glowing voice echoed in the room. "Be brave, dear. I have come to help you. Just tell me what troubles you." Hyun opened her eyes and saw a beautiful fairy standing before her, dressed in a softly shimmering outfit, her eyes full of compassion. The fairy took her hand and said, "Now rest. You don't need to worry about any task." Hyun closed her eyes and felt comfort in the fairy's words. The fairy touched the rice with her magical hands, and before Hyun's eyes, the rice separated from the stones. For the first time, Hyun felt that someone could have mercy on her and her burden could be eased. In the evening, when the stepmother inspected the work, she was shocked. But in her heart, she began planning a third and even harsher test. Knowing that Hyun was receiving help from an unseen force, she decided that she would have to give her even more difficult tasks. The next morning, the stepmother prepared a new test for Hyun. She took her to the edge of a large river and handed her a small spoon, full of holes. In a harsh tone, she said, "This is your spoon. You must empty this entire river using it. If you fail to do so by evening, you know what punishment awaits you. Ha-yoon picked up the spoon and saw the holes, through which the water would slip back down. The task seemed impossible, but Ha-yoon gathered her courage and knelt down, starting to scoop water. Every time she tried, the water slipped through the holes and fell back. Her hands, back, and neck were aching, and tears welled up in her eyes. For Ha-yoon, this was not just a physical task. It was the greatest test of her patience and determination. Sometimes, it felt like her courage was fading, yet her heart still overflowed with resilience. At that moment, the fairy appeared again. She saw Ha-yoon and understood her pain. With a soft, glowing voice, she said, "Be brave, my dear. Rest now. I will handle the work." Ha-yoon felt comfort in the fairy's words, put down the spoon, and closed her eyes. The fairy touched the river with her magical hands, and gradually, the water began to evaporate and rise toward the sky. By evening, the entire river was emptied, and Ha-yoon felt a faint sense of relief. But for the stepmother, this task was just the beginning. The next day, she took Ha-yoon to an empty field and said, "You must build a magnificent palace here, and it must be completed by evening." Ha-yoon looked at the field, which was filled only with stones, and realized that building such a palace with her own strength was impossible. Fear gripped her heart, but somewhere inside, a small spark of hope remained. She thought, if the fairy could empty the river, perhaps the palace could be built as well. Ha-yoon closed her eyes and prayed to the fairy. As soon as she asked for reassurance, the fairy appeared again, shining with light. With her magical powers, the fairy lifted the stones, and before Ha-yoon's eyes, the palace rose. The walls were adorned with silk and velvet, and every corner inside shone with light and grandeur. For the first time, Ha-yoon truly felt that magic and mercy existed in the world. In the evening, the stepmother saw the palace and widened her eyes in surprise. Yet, in her mind, she was already planning an even greater test. Knowing that an unseen force was helping Ha-yoon, she decided to challenge her further. Over time, Ha-yoon's name became famous far and wide. Rumors of her beauty and wealth spread everywhere. One day, Prince Min-jae visited the palace. He was a man filled with kindness and dignity, his eyes reflecting honesty and loyalty. As soon as he saw Ha-yoon, his heart filled with joy. Gradually, they began to understand each other and slowly fell in love. But as in every story, there was a twist. Princess Seo-rin, full of jealousy and envy, cast a love spell on Min-jae. Because of the spell, Min-jae forgot Ha-yoon, and his heart turned towards Seo-rin. Ha-yoon waited patiently, but the prince's forgetfulness deepened her sadness. Ha-yoon did not lose her courage. She prepared 3 precious and radiant dresses, one shining like the moon, the second like the sunlight, and the third adorned with stars. Each dress symbolized her strength and determination. She wrapped her precious jewels and treasures in a handkerchief and set out to find the prince. For a long time, she wandered through cities and villages, finding no trace of him. Eventually, she reached a small village where she began working with a farmer, taking care of livestock. She hid her valuable possessions under a large stone and began a new life as a shepherdess. Her heart was sad, but she kept her courage and kindness alive. Years passed. One day, a royal festival was announced in the kingdom. Ha-yoon began preparing for the 3 nights of celebration. On the first night, she wore the moon dress. On the second night, the sun dress. And on the third night, the star dress. Each night, as she appeared at the city's celebration, Min-jae's eyes could not leave her. On the final night, when Ha-yoon kissed the prince's hand, the spell was broken, and Min-jae remembered everything. He ended his relationship with Seo-rin and embraced Ha-yoon as his true love. They got married, and after some time, they had a son named Ji-ho. Ha-yoon's life was now filled with peace and happiness. Her courage, honesty, and determination had filled her life with magic and revealed the solution to every difficulty. When the magic ended and Prince Min-jae remembered everything, He saw Hyun with his own eyes for the first time and realized that she was his true love. A sea of love surged in his heart once again, and all his feelings returned to Hyun.